Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. So I was on the quest for a dot grid notebook that is bigger than the usual A5 size. I find that it's too small, it's too narrow, like I can't rule the line and fit 2 columns of list making in the same page, so I went on a hunt for a bigger notebook. Now, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this properly, so I'll just show you. It is the Siwengede, however you pronounce that. That's the brand of this notebook. So it looks quite similar to the Leutram with the color, something different to the boring black, so really pretty teal color. You have the elastic band to keep it closed. It has the usual stitch binding that they pretty much all have. It is about, I'd say, 1.5 centimeters thick. Despite the larger page size, it is still quite lightweight. It's lighter than a planner that would be coil bound. You could take it with you. I don't think it's so heavy that you couldn't put it in your handbag. It does have a built-in ribbon bookmark, only one though, so keep that in mind. You only get one. Most of the other dot grid notebooks you get 2. So it has a this belongs to page, and then something a bit different about this one is that half is dot grid and half is lined. So the dots are the usual 5mm spacing, light grey, and then the lines are quite big. I do find it a bit weird that you get a huge line that's 2. It's the width of 2, so if I get my ruler out. See how you get 2 dot grid rows for each line? It's probably a bit too big for my liking, but I'd rather too big than too small. So you get a mix of both with this notebook. So if you like to do the dot grid for ruling up like a habit tracker, but then you prefer lines for writing out your to-do list, I know I do, then this could be a good option. You could do your days of the week on one page and have like your appointments and stuff, and then do your list making on the right. Or you could just only use the dot grid and then put some random brain dumping notes on the line, whatever you want to do. Anyway, there's 2 different page formats in this notebook, which I found was a bit different to the usual, so I wanted to get it and try it out. As you can see, the pages lay flat. You do not need to hold them open with your hand. They will lay flat on their own, and not just where the stitching is. It's on any of the pages, which is brilliant because not all of the dot grid notebooks do. The other thing that I should point out, the paper is slightly yellow. It's got a bit of a yellow tinge, but not as bad as some of the others that I have come across. It's definitely not white, but it's not that really gross yellow either. It's more of a cream color. It feels quite smooth, and I did do a pen test, which I'll show you in a sec. It has a very big pocket folder, very roomy, could fit a lot in there. All right, let's do the pen test. So I did a couple of gel pens, ballpoint, fine tip, needle tips, stamps, the erasable, friction erasable, my all-time fave pens, and then some highlighters as well. So if we have a look at the ghosting, let's get rid of that, at the ghosting and the bleed through. So overall, a bit disappointing, to be honest. The marker pens, as per usual, bled through the paper, but even my ballpoint, there was some indenting and there's quite bad ghosting. So if you're going to use this notebook, I don't know about you, but I personally skip the back side of the page when it's like this. I don't like writing on it when there's stuff from the previous page. I tend to just skip it. So if you do that, you're going to run out of paper quite quickly. If you don't care, then all good. But for me, kind of a deal breaker if it's going to ghost through that much on the page. The other thing that I should point out that I forgot to mention, there is no page numbers on this notebook. It's completely clean. So if you only do occasional bullet journaling, or you want a bigger book for just your habit trackers, so you might do your habit trackers in this notebook and then do your weekly spreads in a smaller notebook, then you could use it that way. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. That's probably what I would do. Do my habit trackers for the month in here, because the month can get quite squishy in those little Leutram, like the A5 size. So probably put my months in here, maybe brain dump some to-dos, and then pluck out the ones that I'm actually going to work on for the month, and then transfer that to my other notebooks. This could be like a reference book. That's probably how I'm going to use it. Anyway, I hope you found this review helpful. The brand, I'm not going to be able to say it, so I'll just show you. Siwengede, whatever, is what it was called. So if you do like it, check on Google and Amazon as well. Don't forget to subscribe. The button is below. I usually post a couple of planner reviews each week, and there are some more bullet journal notebook reviews on my channel as well.